I want to start this video with an apology because I can never just have fun and do whatever. I started this channel weeks ago, but the videos that I made, I never liked them. I just cannot do whatever. I have to like what I do, even if it's a hobby. I'm just talking about pop culture. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But because I make everything a big deal, even my hobbies, then I decided, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It doesn't matter if 2 people watch this channel. It's good for my heart and my inner peace to just know that I'm doing the best I can when it comes to content. I don't know why is that. I don't know what it is about me that just cannot relax. Anyways, I'm talking for too long. This is supposed to be just the intro. Guys, welcome to Mainstream Breakdown, the only hot topics lecture for students who didn't take Pop Culture 101. So that means that I'm going to tell you all the tea and the drama from the internet, from the music industry, from the movie industry, even if you have no basis about pop culture. Sometimes these topics are just so interesting and I really want to talk about them. But the thing is that not everyone from my first audience, from my first channel, knows a lot or cares about pop culture. But I feel like you are going to care. Not care, but you're going to be entertained at least. Pop culture or the entertainment industry is just so messy sometimes. And if you're chismosa like me, if you want to know the gossip, maybe you are not really into this entire celebrity culture, but you want to know the drama, then this is the place for you. And I take this very seriously, okay? Like we have a syllabus here. So follow the syllabus. Pay attention. Let's start with this week's required viewing. Required viewing is going to be the main topic of the video. It's going to be a little bit of a deep dive. It's going to be the headline of the week. On this week's required viewing, we have Connor Storrie at SNL. Now, you may ask yourself, who is Connor Storrie? Who is Connor Storrie? I'm not going to judge. Connor Storrie is one of the 2 lead actors of the Canadian TV show. Well, it's not TV. So the Canadian show, Rivalry. Here we have Hudson Williams and over there we have Connor Storrie. Now, it's very important that you know that this show has exploded in popularity. This started as a very small Canadian show and now it's basically being broadcast by HBO all around the world. It's been subtitled, it's been dubbed, and it's breaking record after record, which is crazy because already before the show was distributed around the world, the show already had a worldwide audience because people were sharing the show online illegally. That's how crazy this show was. So why is everyone so crazy about this show? The premise is already crazy, I feel like. This is a steamy gay hockey romance. So when I first heard this, the show was being aired and it was around episode 2. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to watch it right now. I know everyone is talking about it, but I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm just not in the mood to watch like a romance and wait episode after episode, like week after week. So I said, I'm just going to wait until the show is over. But then the show kept growing day after day. And by episode 4, I said, you know what, I'm just going to watch it. And I regret so much not watching it since week 1, since episode 1 was airing. Genuinely, this is one of my all-time favorite shows. The recommendation I give is to not repeat the same mistake I did, which is believe that, sure, like this is a popular show and I'm going to watch it, just not right now because I'm not in the mood. Forget that. You are in the mood. You just don't know. If you're happy, watch Rivalry. If you're angry, watch Rivalry. If you're sad, watch Rivalry. If you are in love, watch Rivalry. If you're not in love, maybe you're heartbroken, watch Rivalry. Watch Rivalry no matter your mood. You're going to enjoy it. You just have to go through the first 2 episodes because the first 2 episodes lie to you. And this is done on purpose. The first 2 episodes are very, very good, but it tricks you. It gets your attention, but you feel like still like this is not life changing. And then you get to episode 5 and your life is changed. You're going to scream at episode 5 out loud. It doesn't matter who you are, your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter if you're romantic or not. You're going to love this show. Stop thinking about it. Stop saying, maybe I'm going to watch it. No, Just watch it because I made that mistake of waiting. And I also recommended it to other people and they're also waiting. And I'm just like, don't wait. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. Trust me. Do you see my reaction right now? I'm on the calmer side because if you go on social media, people are just freaking out and rightfully so because this show kind of changed my perception of the world in so many ways. It's crazy because you would be like, this is what is it? What was the description? Steamy gay hockey romance. Not interested in any of those, but you know what? Maybe I am because I love this show. I can talk more about this show and probably I will, but on today's episode, I needed to give you the basic facts about this show so you understand why people are so crazy about these two men, Hudson Williams and Connor Storrie. Like I mentioned, Keto Rivalry is a Canadian show. It was produced by Canada. Thank you so much, taxpayers in Canada. It's based on a series of books, also by a Canadian author. The main character in blue, that's Hudson Williams. He plays Shane Hollander. He is Canadian. He plays a Canadian. The other actor is Connor Storrie, and he plays Ilya Rozanov. The actor is originally from Texas in the United States, but his character is supposed to be Russian. And he does an amazing performance doing both the Russian accent and the Russian dialogue as well. Just so you have an idea, less than a year ago, both of these actors were waiters. They had normal lives. They had acting roles here and there, but they were really like not that big. These are their breakout roles, and it's been crazy for them. Anyways, Connor Storrie was invited to SNL, so I'm just really happy that he gets to have his moment at SNL. One of Connor Storrie's most talked about talents is his accent. Because yes, he did a very good job with the Russian accent in Hero Rivalry and the Russian language in Hero Rivalry. But he is also good at accents in general. So for the promotions, they released this promo video.
It's an accent duel. Come on, let's go. German!
Oh, das ist easier than drinking ein Hefeweizen, ja?
French!
But what do you mean everyone wears Croc to the airport?
But
To be or not to be, that's the question.
Russian!
when you get to hell, they'll the Rozanov section.
So that's Connor Storrie doing his Russian accent. What was I supposed to say? This is actually better than some of the actual sketches. This is another promotional video.
Let's all say our goal for this week on 3.
Makes the audience smile.
And to get a big kiss from Connor.
What?
Oh.
Anyways, promotional material started being released maybe like a week before the actual show. He did so many interviews and all of the questions were literally like, what are you going to do at the SNL show? And he literally said, I don't know. They're probably still writing it because if it's a week before, like, of course, they're still working on it. And he was like, I have no idea, like, genuinely, like, they're still working on it. So why were all the questions the same? I don't know. And it was so boring. But anyways, this is Connor's monologue.
Some of you may have seen literally all of me on my show, Heated Rivalry, humbled that this is happening to me. And on the other hand, this was my destiny. The whole world is gonna know me as just Connor, like I'm Madonna.
I've watched some of these monologues from other celebrities, and I feel like Connor's delivery is amazing. I just don't think I love the monologue. Does that make sense? I just don't find it that funny. I feel like Connor is great. Connor is funny and charismatic. I just don't love the monologue, which is crazy because the first person that comes to mind, I don't know why, is Kim Kardashian. When she had her monologue, I remember she received a lot of praise because it was very well written. And I am going to have to agree. Her delivery was not the best, but I feel like here is the opposite. The monologue is not bad. It's just not that funny. And Connor, I feel like makes it a little bit like entertaining, but at the end of the day, it's just unfortunately not one of my favorites. Also, over here, there were these two USA hockey players. They won gold or something. And I saw so many reactions, people watching this show at bars or like watch parties or just at home. And they all booed when these two guys appear on the screen because there was this entire situation. The USA male hockey team were on a call with Donald Trump laughing, and Donald Trump like did like a little joke about the female hockey team, and they were all laughing hysterically. And then they went to the White House, and people really don't love that. So yeah, they were booed. Not here, but at watch parties. But then female hockey players from Team USA appeared, and they received here on the actual show like a way higher cheer than the male hockey players. That's first of all. Second of all, people at home and at watch parties were also cheering for them because, just so you know, the female hockey USA team, this is not new for them. Like, they win all the time. Like, they are that great. But the male hockey team, they actually lose. Once again, people don't love them right now. So I don't know if I love this monologue overall. I watched it one time and I think I'm okay with that. Let's get to the actual sketches. I'm going to rank them. Connor appeared on 9 sketches. 7 of these were aired and 2 of these were unaired. And let me tell you why. I can totally see why the 2 unaired sketches didn't make it to TV because they were bad. That's it. So at number 9, we have the unaired sketch, Car Song. They usually do these songs, and I'm going to be honest, I'm just not a fan of SNL doing these songs. They are all boring. They're all boring and dumb, and I don't like them. I think they did a good job with Big Boy. Do you guys remember that? With Sisa. But that's basically it. I feel like they don't do good comedy songs. I don't know. So they did this one.
Sorry, just trying to find the handle.
Hey, car, stop making doors hard! They changed the doors and
No, thank you. I guess the premise is okay, but it's so fucking dumb. I'm never going to listen to this again. Here we have Connor, though.
why did you change the handles? It makes no sense!
That the garment was ripped off my body,
The horse son is naked.
mocking me.
I love Connor. Not even Connor can save this. It's one of the worst comedy songs I've ever heard in my life. Let's go to number 8.
Several offensive words were shouted from the crowd. It was involuntary verbal tics from a man suffering from Tourette's syndrome.
This sketch is called Tourette's. This even, like, it's kind of controversial because they reference that situation that I showed at the beginning that happened at the BAFTAs. Some people believe that this is mocking Tourette's, but other people are saying that this is not making fun of the situation. They're making fun of actors who are controversial using Tourette's as an excuse for their actions. Of course, these actors that they are playing, Connor is playing Armie Hammer. His controversy is that he was accused of being a cannibal. In real life, these celebrities have not used Tourette's as an excuse, but they have given other excuses. I just feel like I'm just not the biggest fan of this entire concept, first of all. And second of all, it's just not funny. Like, I don't find it funny. And I love Kenneth. I feel like he's really funny. Him and Marcelo, I feel like every single time when they are main characters in a sketch, it's super funny. But yeah, this one is one that I particularly didn't love. She's great as well. I think she's very funny. At number 7, we have The Gentleman's Code.
Had worn his riding boots to London.
They start fighting and then they start slapping each other and it becomes like a slap fight, basically. I didn't find it funny, but it was okay. It's crazy because this usually would be my type of humor. I love ridiculous humor like this, like physical humor, slaps, dumb stuff, like the Looney Tunes kind of things that some people say like it's too corny. Unfortunately, I find it hilarious. So this should be something that I enjoy, but for some reason, I just didn't find it funny. At number 6, we have leg lengthening. This is a very, very weird sketch. In this sketch, Marcelo's character gets leg lengthening surgery. And in the end, you can see that Connor's character gets leg shortening surgery. I believe this is a reference to The Materialists, but I didn't notice the reference. It was a weird sketch. It was just not something that I would watch ever again in my entire life. At number 5, we have Office Dance. In this sketch, the boss, it seems like, asks everyone in the office any suggestions to do there at the office. And Connor's character says, let's have a dance, like a high school dance. But instead of a high school dance, let's have an office dance. And it is weird, but it was a little bit funny.
We should have a dance.
I'm sorry, what?
What I don't love about this sketch is that it feels like they don't have any idea of what to do. They had the idea of a character suggesting a an office dance instead of like a high school dance. And that's basically all they had because all of the other references just make absolutely no sense. It is okay, I guess. Okay, at number 4, there is a sketch that I actually find funny and that I will rewatch. Number 4 is tutoring the cool kid. On this video, Connor's character plays the cool kid and he is being tutored by these other character who is supposed to be like a nerdy kid, and Connor's cool character realizes that this other kid is actually pretty fun. They should sit together during lunch. And then this guy is funny because he brings out a piano and starts singing a goofy song. You know, when I mentioned that I like the Looney Tunes kind of comedy, this is the comedy that I'm talking about.
Thank you for coming to my house. Maybe we can even start a family.
I'm sorry. I know it's so ridiculous and some people are just like too cool for this. I want to be cool for this. Unfortunately, I am not. Let me tell you, when I was in high school, I went to see a movie. It was a comedy movie with my friends from high school. And it was very ridiculous comedy. I was laughing so hard. I was crying laughing. And then I look at my friends and they were all literally like, how do you not find this funny? Like, this is hilarious. There's literally tears in my eyes. And then I realized like I'm looking so ridiculous because I'm crying laughing. I just said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to contain my laughter. But I just couldn't. It was too funny. Like, I love this type of comedy and it's so silly and stupid. And I know people don't love it. And I really wanted to be cool like my friends and not laugh like this, but I just can't. I can't. I need to laugh. I need to laugh at these Looney Tunes as music. Like, I need to. I love this sketch. I think it was funny. And in the end, this nerd guy's parents appear and they join in the song.
With our sons. Thank you for eating lunch with our sons. Thank you.
I can't.
Thank you.
Also, by the way, Connor's wigs are crazy during this entire show. Connor's hair is so pretty, but yeah, these wigs took me out for a minute. At number 3, we have stripper. I know crazy thumbnail is not my thumbnail, it's SNL's thumbnail. They knew what they were doing. This sketch was actually written by Connor years ago. Connor was an actual clown. One of his clown characters was actually this character. This is a stripper who goes to a bachelorette party or something like that. There is a car crash and he gets injured. So there's a lot of physical comedy in this, as you can tell, and he strips while being injured. It's the craziest concept ever, and it is definitely one of the funniest sketches here. I feel like Connor's sketch and writing was actually better than some of these SNL sketches. As you can clearly see, this is number 3 for a reason. Now, some people believe that this should be number 1, and I hear you all. But I do feel like I loved a little bit more the concept of the other 2. This one is like a very simple concept, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And I totally understand why some people say this is actually the best sketch of the night. Just look, what is he even doing there? At number 2, we have ice skating. This is about a couple who get into a fight on the ice rink. And behind them, there's this group of friends who just say this crazy stuff. So the guy gets distracted in the middle of this conversation. Every interruption, everything that they say is just so ridiculous. One of the reasons why I love this sketch so much is because of this moment. And the screams went on for so long. The people working at SNL were literally saying like, audience, you need to stop. If you don't remember from the beginning of my explanation, Hudson is Connor's co-star here in Hero Rivalry. Look at what they're doing there. Like, what are they even? It's hilarious. At number 1, though, we have Mr. Francie. This is so hilarious. And I think this is in great part because of Marcelo. Marcelo plays the teacher, Mr. Francie, and he has this way of speaking that is just so hilarious to me.
My wife spilled my coffee all over my body. Okay, guys.
It scratches something in my brain, like the way he speaks.
Struggle in my life is keeping my penis away from my wife.
He's talking about peanuts, by the way. I recommend that you guys watch this one. I think this one is like actually really, really funny. It's definitely my favorite but probably I am biased because every single time that Marcelo and Kenan are the main characters in a sketch, I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know what it is about them that they just, all of their characters are so funny. Finally, we have the performance by Mumford and Sons. I'm so sorry. Your professor here doesn't really know much or nothing at all about Mumford and Sons. But Connor did the presentation for them, and guess who was there? Of course, his co-star, Hudson Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mumford and Sons.
Look how good they look! You need to watch Hero Rivalry. You need to watch Hero Rivalry. It is a required viewing. Anyways, now it's time for fashion review. As you can tell, I am very fashionable. I know so much about clothes. I don't. All of the fashion concepts I know are because of RuPaul's Drag Race and Project Runway, basically. I don't know anything about fashion, but I still wanted to do a fashion review just in case there was some fashion moment that people were talking about. And on this week's fashion review, we need to talk about men in boots, ? Because I've seen men in red carpets in long boots, and the reception has not been the greatest. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like I share that sentiment. I don't know if I love it. Since we were just talking about Connor's story, let's talk about Connor's story right here. This is Connor at the Saturday Night Live after party. And he's wearing these boots that go all the way up. Actually, not all the way up to the knee, but like way, way higher. Very interesting outfit. Do you like it? Because I feel like I don't love it. But at the end of the day, I do like this style of boots way better than the next ones that I will be showing. More men in boots. This is the Latin boy band Santos Bravos. They are part of Hype, Latin America. And I'm pretty sure this is their first award show appearance, their first red carpet appearance as a 5-member group. They're wearing these boots. They're not all the way up to the knee. Like it's all the way up to like the pelvis. Like what is happening? I feel like the boots can look very, very good. It's just that I don't know if I love the way this is styled. Like I mentioned, this is a Latin boy band and these are members from different countries. So here we have Drew. He is from the United States and his parents are Mexican. This is Gabby. He's from Puerto Rico. Then we have Kenneth from Mexico. He's the youngest one. Then we have Alejandro from Peru. And then we have Kawe from Brazil. I feel like Kawe and Drew are kind of pulling it off. This is Drew and the last one over there is Kawe. Those looks I like a little better than the other 3. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like, I don't know if I love men in boots. I love men in boots, but like the regular boots, I don't know about these ones though. But once again, look at my beautiful fashion sense. Super fashion forward. I have nothing to say of substance except these were controversial this week. And that's why I'm sharing them. Next, now it's time for the pop quiz. During the pop quiz section, I'll be asking one question everyone is repeating all across the internet. This week's question is, why is everyone talking about Manon? So Manon is a member from the global group Katseye. They were also created by Hype, just like Santos Bravos, but unlike Santos Bravos and other groups created by Hype, Hype is a K-pop company, by the way. This particular group, they were created under HXG. That means Hype America X Geffen Records. Geffen Records is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group, one of the biggest music labels in the world. And Hype America is a subsidiary of Hype, the company that BTS is part of. You can see how this girl group was created because there is a Netflix documentary about the entire process. They were recruited and then they were trained under the K-pop training system for 2 years. And then they had a competition show. And then these were the 6 final girls, technically the girls that won the competition. First, we have Daniela. She is from the US and her parents are Venezuelan and Cuban. Next, we have Sofia. She's from the Philippines. In the middle, we see Manon. She's from Switzerland. Next to her, we have Megan. She's from Hawaii in the US. And I believe one of her parents is Chinese. Next to her is Yunche. She's from South Korea. Finally, we have Lara. She's from the US and she's of Indian descent. That's why this is called a global girl group, a global group. But they are based in LA in the US. and they are under Hype America with Geffen Records from UMG. Recently, HXG, Hype, and Geffen Records released a statement about Katseye. They wrote, after open and thoughtful conversations together, we're sharing that Manon will be taking a temporary hiatus from group activities to focus on her health and well-being. We fully support this decision. Katseye remains committed to showing up for one another and for fans who mean everything to us. The group will continue schedule activities during this time, and we look forward to being together again when the time is right. Thank you to our icons for your continued love, patience, and understanding. This freaked out absolutely everyone because we need to talk about the word hiatus and what does it entail. We have to remember that this is a very unusual project. In the K-pop music industry, hiatus usually means like for real hiatus, and it's very common for these group members to go on hiatus for literally an entire promotion schedule. Maybe they release a song without this member. That's how this style of hiatus works. And then the member who is on hiatus comes back and it's like nothing happened. Like they continue singing with their group. But in America, hiatus usually means that a member is leaving the group or that the group is basically breaking up. When I first read this statement, I was very unsure of what this meant. When more things started happening, I got even more confused. Because as you can see here, it says Manon will be taking a temporary hiatus from group activities to focus on her health and well-being. And then Manon writes on the Weavers community, which is a fan community popular between Hype artists and other artists. It says, "Hi friends, I want you to hear this from me. I'm healthy, I'm okay, and I'm taking care of myself. Thank you for checking in. Sometimes things unfold in ways we don't fully control, but I'm trusting the bigger picture. Thank you for standing by me. I love you endlessly and can't wait to see you again." And for a lot of people, these two statements seem contradictory because in the first one, it says that Manon will be taking a temporary hiatus to focus on her health and well-being. But then she says, "I'm healthy." So is it really about her health though? At the very beginning, my answer to this was these two statements were not contradictory because you can be, for example, physically healthy, but you can maybe struggle mentally. And in the Netflix documentary, we saw that actually Manon also took a short break because of just wanting to protect her mental health. I felt at the very beginning, seeing all of this, that this was probably a mental health break. And now I'm even more confused because we can see here that Manon liked this article that said, "Another black girl subjected to racism and label mistreatment yet again." Why did she allegedly like this post? Because this is a screenshot. There are actually multiple screenshots, but she did unlike this. And this is completely different. I guess not completely different, but it is different. Saying that you're subjected to racism and label mistreatment, we can totally see the racism because this is not the first time that a black member in a girl group goes through this. We saw it with Leanne from Little Mix. We saw it with Normani from Fifth Harmony. So at the time seeing this was very weird to me. And then Manon's alleged boyfriend, I say alleged because there has not been any confirmation, but it seems like with the pictures that he's sharing, it seems like it is true that they are together. But anyways, this guy called David, he shared on his Instagram stories this article by Impact that said, "The internet is sick of watching black members of girl groups be mistreated. Manon's hiatus from Katseye is reviving conversations about what black and mixed race artists often face as a part of a popular group." So I feel like now it's not as simple as just mental health break, my initial theory. But at the end of the day, I still feel like it's weird of me and other people just trying to make all of these theories because people already go to these crazy theories that the label is punishing her because she was part of a short film, even though the label executives were liking that short film. And all of these theories that honestly, I feel like, why are we making theories about this? What I'm wishing for is that she's doing good. She did appear on David's posts recently, so it seems like she's doing okay, at least from the pictures that we've seen. But still, what is actually happening? Why is she actually on a hiatus? A lot of celebrities have supported Manon publicly. And once again, this is very interesting to me because a hiatus announcement for the American music industry, and you will see these are all American celebrities or celebrities part of the American entertainment industry. They perceive the word hiatus in a very specific way. From their point of view, this entire situation looks like the label is kicking her out. I just find it interesting how different the response can be. We have Lee Ann from Little Mix. We have Ziza. We have Kehlani, Tiffany Haddish, Chloe Bailey, Shade of Solidify, Melody Thornton. And some of these are very subtle, like this one, for example, that it's just a comment on a Manon post, just saying superstar. So it's just overall support for Manon. After Manon's hiatus announcement, the other members have not been very active on social media, except for a few members wishing, I believe, Billie Eilish a happy birthday on her comment section, a few pre-recorded TikToks, I believe, and that is basically it. I have not seen a lot from them. Like the announcement said, Manon is going to be on hiatus from group activities, so that probably means that the other members would continue with group activities without Manon. This is not the first time that this has happened. They have multiple music videos, not music videos, but like visualizers or choreography videos without one member. At one time it was Megan, another time it was Manon, I believe another time was Daniela. So this is not the first time that something like this has happened, but this is the first time that we get an official announcement of a hiatus from this group. This is probably going to be a little while because Katseye has performances coming up and they are probably going to perform without Manon there. Now, I mentioned that this member is called Daniela. She is American from Cuban and Venezuelan parents, and I don't understand. This is already like a stressful situation I can imagine for Manon's and Katseye's fans, and this just made it even worse. Daniela's dad commented this on a video about Manon's hiatus. He wrote, "The show must go on, with or without a member. Katseye is bigger than one girl." Why? Was this comment really necessary? I just don't understand. Don't understand why he would do this. This damages also Daniela's image. Daniela's parents are professional ballroom dancers, so they've been in the entertainment industry for a while. I feel like Rafael Avancini, Daniela's dad, would know how important it is to just stay quiet sometimes, especially when you can ruin your daughter's career or image. I don't know. So this comment was shared a lot on social media, and then people started finding other comments that this man had. Like, for example, this Facebook comment, a random post saying, "Who's your favorite dancer, Daniela of Katseye or Lisa from Blackpink?" And this man responded. And he said, "If you have to ask Daniela, much better trained. Plus, she's also Latina, major advantage against Asian dancers. Her hips are untouchable." Some people found this weird because why is he talking about the hips, Latinas having an advantage over Asian dancers? I just find this entire situation weird. And the fact that he's so online when his daughter is this much of a public figure, I just don't understand why he can just step back a little bit and look. So this of course made the situation even worse because now people start theorizing about the other members from Katseye not liking Manon. Now let's also remember this. Manon very recently, before the hiatus was announced, she mentioned in an interview how she remembers how the entire One Direction situation went, and she didn't want that to happen to Katseye and their fans because she felt that seeing that with One Direction saying leaving and then One Direction breaking up, she didn't want Katseye's fans to go through that as well. So she literally said, "Katseye, we're going to stay together for a while." This was literally weeks before the hiatus announcement. So we don't really know what's going to happen. This is the only thing that we have from her so far after everything. She posted this picture on an Instagram story and she wrote, "I love you all more than words could describe." She's receiving a lot of support from celebrities and fans and audiences. So I just hope that everything turns out okay for everyone because I don't really know what is happening. I know there are a lot of theories and people like putting like, no, this is not just a theory, this is the truth. At the end of the day, it is a theory though. It's just, we don't really know. And I'm not going to say anything except I'm just going to wait and see what happens. So that is why everyone is talking about Manon. Now let's continue with a more lighthearted. Let's continue with a more lighthearted hot topic. This is the trend of the week. on the trend of the week, we have Mikayla Nogueira's divorce. You know what? This should have been the headline. This is the most important headline of them all. The one thing you need to know about Mikayla is that she is a beauty influencer known for her Boston accent. Literally Google Mikayla Nogueira and it literally says Mikayla is a social media influencer and entrepreneur known for her makeup reviews and Boston accent. Like that's what she's known for. She had a very popular TikTok audio where she said Kim Kardashian in this crazy Boston accent. Some people say that is not a Boston accent. That is just a Mikayla thing.
Kim Kardashian had this absolutely stunning, sexy look at the Met Gala.
That literally scared me. That was a little bit of a jump scare. That audio became very, very popular.
Kim Kardashian.
I low-key love it. I think it's hilarious. Some people say that she's totally faking. I mean, she turns on and off that accent whenever it's convenient. But maybe that is her real accent. We don't really know and I don't really care. What happened recently is that she posted this TikTok description. We love you. What was that TikTok about? This TikTok... Why is this the TikTok of the week? This is the TikTok of the week because I absolutely love... I know that influencers and being out of touch, like it's one and the same. Those are synonyms. Those go together. But this is one of my favorite moments. So this is Mikayla's announcement.
I want to start this video by saying I appreciate you and I love you. And you're gonna want to sit down for this video.
I'm sad.
I am getting a divorce. Take a minute. Take it in. I am getting a divorce. Cody and I love each other so much.
The thing that really got everyone was take a minute, take it in. And that got me as well. Because when I watched this on my timeline. I don't even follow her, but I got this on my timeline. And I was like, first of all, I didn't even know she was married because I don't follow her like that, but I knew who she was because of the Kim Kardashian and other videos. The seriousness of it all, I felt like, oh, this is going to be like an influencer apology video or some of those type of videos that I absolutely love watching. I love these. I love when people rank these apology videos and stuff like that. I think it's hilarious. But anyways, I was expecting something like that. And then she says, I'm getting a divorce. Take a minute, take it in. Mikayla, I don't need a minute to take it in. Thank you so much though for giving me that minute. After she posted that video, of course, all of the reactions started appearing on my timeline and they were all like this. How Mikayla thought we would react.
I am getting a divorce.
So many videos like this. The funny thing is that yes, she gave us like 1 minute to process this hard information and then she continued promoting things for Valentine's Day and like makeup and stuff like that.
Take a minute. Take it in. I am getting a divorce.
Get ready with me for Valentine's Day. I need to look so fucking hot tonight.
So it is true though that the internet is laughing and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to say that I did participate in the laughing because it was so outrageous to me. Like it was so out of touch for me to see this at the very beginning. And then I started seeing like other points of view. The internet is going too far. She just gave her audience, her fans, people who are really following her because they love her and they love seeing the relationship that she had with her husband. And now I feel bad for laughing. She closed her comments or she limited her comments in all of her recent posts and she has posted a lot since she announced she was getting a divorce. That is where we are now. And that is all I have to say about the trend of the week. And now it's time to be late to the party again. On these weeks, I'm late to the party again. We have Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, I recorded videos for this channel. I edited them and I didn't post them because I hated them. I recorded a video about Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show and then I re-recorded it because I didn't like it. I edited that video. I finished that video and in the end I didn't post it. But this is basically everything summarized. from that video. The world has moved on a little bit. His music is trending, but this really was like a moment. There's so much we can say about the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show, and I feel like everything has been said already. Bad Bunny's show was extremely creative. It was, in my opinion, one of the best ones the Super Bowl has ever seen. It was so full of culture and joy and family and celebration. Even if you don't like the music, that's fine. But if you cannot even recognize that this feels like a celebration, I really don't know what to tell you. I really, really enjoyed this show. Here you can see all of the celebrities. They have Cardi B, Pedro Pascal. They were at the casita. Bad Bunny always has this casita that serves like as a stage for him. And it's very, very cool. What I want to talk about though is an alternative point of view. My opinion is very common. I like the Super Bowl halftime show. I loved it. But I have not seen anyone actually sharing the point of view that I'm about to share. I know so much about Bad Bunny against my will. I was never looking for this information. This information just was part of the society where I grew up. I heard Bad Bunny's name for the first time probably in 2016. That was when he started getting more popular in South America. He released collaborations with so many big artists, and these songs were huge. Everyone was listening to these songs. This part was iconic. And also them. They were also iconic. But do you see how cool he looks right now? He looks stylish. That was not the Bad Bunny I met. This is the Bad Bunny I met. He has a completely different look. This video is Creepy Kush. His music was completely different. He used to focus a lot on Latin trap, which is completely different to the music he does now, especially his latest album, because in his latest album, he started doing like more salsa and genres that are more for all the Latin generations, but that was not how he started. Just listen to this. Growing up, I was never a fan of música urbana. So that would mean reggaeton, Latin trap, because it was everything that I knew. It was walking around the city, restaurants would have this music, classmates would put on this music, parties had this music. Like it was absolutely everywhere. Like even on TV, it was impossible to escape. I knew so much basic information about Bad Bunny without me wanting to know about Bad Bunny. I just knew from the very beginning. This was his style. He shaved his hair and he had like these very colorful clothes. I really like the last one that you see over there with those are not glasses, but like that thing. I think that is very cool. The other ones, like this one, I don't know so much. It's very 2016 of him, but I get it because that was 2016. Another interesting thing about the Super Bowl that I really wanted to talk about is not just the wedding, which yes, it was a real wedding. It's been shared all over the internet, but also Lady Gaga performed. Now, being completely honest, I was really expecting Cardi B to perform with Bad Bunny. But then I really thought about it and it's like, why was I expecting Cardi B to perform? Why would Bad Bunny perform like one of his collaborations when he can perform his own songs that are more recent and that are more relevant to his career? So instead of Cardi B, we actually got Lady Gaga. Now, this was very surprising to me at the very beginning. And then with time, I realized that it's not that's surprising because Bad Bunny has been a real fan of Lady Gaga for a long time. When he first started, he used to do the music mixes to his cousin, I believe, who was a drag queen or is a drag queen. Bad Bunny got to know a lot of music popular in queer spaces because he made these mixes for his drag queen cousin. And that is how he became a fan of Lady Gaga. And you can see actually so many pictures of Bad Bunny wearing Lady Gaga merch from different years. It was not just one time, it was like multiple times. And he has like a collection of merch basically. And you know what? I respect that from him because if I was a singer and I am going to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, I would do the same. I would tell my favorite artist, it doesn't matter if you don't make the same music that I do. It doesn't matter if you sing in another language. You're going to perform at my Super Bowl halftime show because this is my Super Bowl halftime show and I can invite anyone I want, so I'm going to invite my favorite artists. And then we get an appearance by Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin is a Puerto Rican singer. He was very popular when I was just born. I don't know. But he's still very popular to this day, and he still has hits, recent hits in Latin America. I think the most important thing for me to point out about this performance is the reaction by some people. Because why are people confusing Ricky Martin with J Balvin and Maluma? Maluma. That's crazy to me. J Balvin.
Oh my god, it's J Balvin. Wait, I don't know. That's not J Balvin. That's Maluma.
Confusing Ricky Martin with Maluma is crazy to me. To me, they are so different. So then I looked for pictures of the three of them, and to me, because I grew up listening to their music, it's extremely easy for me to differentiate them. But I can totally see how someone who is not familiar with them can mix them up. Just in case you don't know, Ricky Martin is Puerto Rican and he makes more like tropical music from what I remember. J Balvin and Maluma are Colombian and they do more música urbana, like reggaeton and those style of songs. Overall, I have to say that I loved Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. I am late to the party talking about this, but it doesn't matter because this performance is going to be forever remembered, in my humble opinion. Just so you have an idea how big this was for Latin American families, my family and I never watched the Super Bowl, especially live. Even for the halftime show, we don't watch it. It's not a thing for us. Sometimes I would watch Super Bowl halftime show performances after they go viral maybe, but live, that's another step. That's another step that I was never willing to take until Bad Bunny was announced at the Super Bowl halftime show, and my parents were there in the house with me, and we all sat down and watched the Super Bowl halftime show as a family. And you have to know, my mom loves reggaeton music, she loves Latin music, so it's no surprise. But my dad doesn't like Bad Bunny at all. He doesn't like these música urbana genres. He's just not into it. And the reason why my dad doesn't like this genre is the same reason why I didn't like this genre growing up. And that is because it's just a constant sound, especially like the reggaeton sound. Is this tunk 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 tunk. It's literally impossible to escape, and I was tired. My dad was also tired. I remember trying to do my homework and my brother would just put on his music and it was every single song with this chunku 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 chunku. It was just, I was over it. So of course, growing up, I just couldn't listen to it. But for other people around me, the repetition was not a problem. They loved it. And now that I have grown up and now I'm able to go back and see these genres, I feel like I can appreciate it a lot more. I can appreciate Bad Bunny's music. I feel like he is really putting a lot of effort into making good quality music that is not just cool and fun for the younger audiences, because I do like his Latin trap and reggaeton songs, but now he's also doing genres like salsa that the older generations are going to love as well. So I feel like now everyone loves Bad Bunny. Of course, he still gets hate. He still gets these typical comments of he's not a real artist, because people still have this preconceived notion of how he started. Let's remember that for a lot of people, this is Bad Bunny and this is the type of music he does and this is his image and this is all he can do. And him winning the Grammy is an impossible thing to understand. And by many Latinos who saw Bad Bunny growing up in the music industry in Latin America, it's, according to some people, unfair that he is the one that gets to have all of these opportunities like the Grammys and the Super Bowl halftime show, while artists in Latin America who supposedly do sing properly, make like proper Latin music, they don't get the recognition. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that is fair, because what Bad Bunny did is do all of these genres in such ways that all generations can enjoy it. Yes, the older generation is still a little bit slow and they just cannot accept that Bad Bunny makes actual good music that deserves the Album of the Year Grammy. And what I think is really beautiful is that he took this opportunity to showcase this message of the countries from all of the Americas are one America, and we're all in this together, and we are a society, and we're we're together. And honestly, he didn't have to do that, but he did it. He took the opportunity and made this his theme. Of course, this is very present in his music, not all his music, but in a lot of his music. What I love about him is that he can do fun music, but also do fun music with a little bit of a message. In other songs, he has like a stronger message and it's also fun. So I love it. I love it. And that is my opinion about Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show performance. And now it's time for some extra credit. The extra credit section is about small stories that people are talking about on the internet. So yes, these are viral moments, but there's not a lot of explanation needed. You just need to see it. On this week's extra credit, we have Harry Styles at the Brit Awards. According to some people, the Brit Awards are the British equivalent to the US Grammys. Very recently, Harry Styles, he's a male singer, British male singer. He used to be part of One Direction, 5-member boy group. Do you remember from the 2010s? He is one of the most popular members, definitely. When One Direction broke up in 2015, he went solo. All of the members went solo, but his career became very, very popular. And actually, since we were talking about Bad Bunny, Harry won Album of the Year a couple of years ago for his album Harry's House, and he handed Bad Bunny the Album of the Year award. So kind of like it's your moment now. But anyways, the thing is that Harry is back with a new album. It's called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. And honestly, I really love this cover. Harry Styles, unfortunately, is not the music that I would personally listen to, but I know his songs, and you probably know his songs because they are a lot of the times on the radio. They are being promoted absolutely everywhere. And from this album, I haven't heard a lot so far, but he did promote this song by performing it at the Brit Awards. Now, I need you to watch this video and just come up with a theory as to why this is being talked about on the internet. Oh my god. So if you don't notice, it is the little dance, the thing that is being talked about. I don't understand the point of view. It's weird. I'm not sure if these are professional backup dancers. It looks like they may be, but at the same time, why are they not in sync? I get that Harry Styles is not in sync. Harry Styles is not in sync. Boy band joke. I get that Harry Styles is not in sync with his backup dancers because he is not a dancer. But what is this choreography? I just don't get it. Unfortunately, I'm going to say that I don't love this performance. This is just the clip that is going around, but the performance overall is just, it's not my favorite. Now, this has started a bigger debate because this is how the internet is, and I get it. Sometimes pop culture can be so easy as to, oh, look at the way Harry Styles is dancing. But then the conversation becomes like deeper and deeper. So a lot of people were talking about how the expectations that we have for male singers is not the same as the expectations that we have for female singers. Because if any female singer came on stage and danced like this, she would be crucified. Let's remember, Dua Lipa, for example, was memed for years because she did that little lazy dance. It was an entire meme, and it still is. But in the case of Harry Styles, of course, his fans are defending this, saying that he's just having fun. And I feel conflicted because it's true that I don't like this performance. I don't like this choreography. I don't like this concept. I still feel like, yes, he's just having fun, but why can't female artists not have fun? And also, this style of little like cute boy band dancing, he's not in a boy band right now, but you know what I mean. This is not acceptable. If you're an artist today and you decide to do a choreography today in the music industry, you need to have like a good choreography. Maybe it's a simple choreography, but you need to execute it very well. Have you seen the dancers that now exist in the music industry? I remember back in the 2010s when Ariana Grande, for example, would do like cute little dance. That was not like a full-on choreography, but I feel like she cannot do those style of dances today. The same way with boy bands from the early 2000s, like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Some of those choreographies were very repetitive and simple, especially when you compare them to acts of today, to BTS, to Katseye, who are known for their choreography. And not just groups, but also soloists. But he is just having fun, it seems like. I know someone who is a huge fan of Harry Styles, and when this person watched this performance, this person was, oh my goodness, I don't want to watch that ever again. And this is a huge Harry Styles fan that I know. Overall, I do have to say that I am actually glad that more artists are dancing, because before, I remember I can think of Lady Gaga and Beyonce doing like very hard choreographies, but the smaller artists emerging, I realized that they were not really dancing a lot. But now I see singers like Tate McRae, or even, what's her name? She tries to dance. The girl from TikTok, Addison Rae. So Tate McRae, Addison Rae, wait, a lot of Rays. And also the renaissance of Sarah Larson. Sarah Larson has such amazing choreographies, and her voice. These are the type of artists that I love watching perform. But what do you think about Harry Styles' Aperture performance at the Brit Awards? And now it's time for office hours. During office hours, I will answer to any of you guys' questions. If you want me to talk about any pop culture topic that is happening this week, or that was from a long time ago and you just want to know my opinion about it, leave that topic in the comment section and I will address it during office hours. I don't have any viewers, I'm sure, at the very beginning. Since this is episode 1, there will be no office hours today. So the office is closed. I feel like this has not been the perfect episode that I prepared, but it is something and I need to start. Because like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just too much of a perfectionist and I feel like if I continue like this, I'm never going to start this channel. So if you subscribed 3 weeks ago, thank you so much for being patient and watching this video. My plan is to post a pop culture update every Sunday. So stay tuned and subscribe and turn on that notification bell for more pop culture weekly updates. Thank you so much for watching. The class is dismissed. Leave now.